How did you like that firework display? Hello everybody from ClausenWorld family. Happy 2021. As you can see, I am not in the garden today. Let me show you why. It is cold, but that's okay. We are not going to let that stop us. So, without further ado, I decided to go ahead and come to you guys today with what I've been doing on this cold January 1st. I wrote down some gardening goals. You heard me right. I said I wrote down some gardening goals. I'm bad about writing things down. So I want to bring those to you guys. The first thing I wrote down was organization. Because even though I try to be organized, I could always do a little bit better. And I have a few props here with me today. And I'm going to show you guys one of my seed boxes. Now don't judge me. This is one of my seed boxes. I've got about 2 of these. I have a small one that I was gifted. I have a grocery bag. And so what I decided to do was to go through my seed boxes and pull out everything that has been challenging, that doesn't grow well for me, that I do not want to grow again, and bless somebody else with it. So I pulled it all out, put it in a paper bag, and it shall go bye-bye. Everything else is something that I'm growing for myself, my family, and to give away to those who I give things away to. The next thing that I wrote down was starting seeds sooner. In 2020, I decided to have a 4 seasons garden, and I've been relatively successful with that. So in 2021, we're going to keep that ball rolling. So that means sowing sooner, succession planting, and sometimes starting seeds. I don't like it. I don't like starting anything in the house because I always have dampening off, or my lights are not right, and then I've got leggy plants, and when they struggle from the beginning, they struggle until you just call it quits and get rid of them. So I have my seed mat, my warming mat, I have my seed trays, I have what I need to put those seedlings together. I have my lights, I have my indoor greenhouse. So starting seeds. The next thing is making sure that I am continuing to sow my seeds, sowing continuously so that I can have that harvest that I would like to have. Companion planting. I have had this thing for so long. It's dirty, it's all bent up. I make sure that I companion plant with everything that I am putting in the garden. No matter what it is, I do my best to companion plant. If you're not familiar about the benefits of companion planting, I'll put some information in the description box below. Many people don't companion plant. Me, myself, I enjoy it, so I'm going to continue on with that. But I'm going to make sure that everything that I have in the garden, and I do mean everything, is companion planted. So I have some work to do, which is why my seed box is so big. Growing more of what I eat. What I found in 2020 is that I did not grow enough. So I will be planting more so that I can have more. Preserving more of what I grow and harvest. That means canning, dehydrating, freezing, eating it. I don't know about you guys, but I grew kind of tired of eating some stuff out the garden. But in 2021, I do not have the luxury of getting tired of food. You all know what's going on in the world. So for me, I want to do better by making sure that I am not wasting what I'm growing, because that's a wasted effort, and I don't want to do that. I've already talked about cleaning my seed box. I've already talked about growing more for the table. I want to grow more for the table. The next thing I wrote down is watering. Now, I did put in a drip irrigation system in 2019. Yes, in 2019, I put a drip irrigation system in. So the goal that I have for myself is to water more deeply and to make sure that I'm watering more often. During the summertime, when the weather is 100+ degrees, you can't just water once a day or twice a day. I have to make sure that I am watering adequately, and that even though I have a drip, that I'm making sure that those items that are on the drip, they're getting enough water and not too much. Because I did a lot of moving around this year, and because of that, a few things got knocked off the drip and a few things got more water than they should have gotten due to how much water was being dripped in. So watering is important. That I need to work that out for 2021. Feeding my soil. Now, feeding my soil for me means making sure that I am adding all the necessary nutrients that I need to grow whatever I'm growing in that pot. So feeding my soil, that could mean homemade compost, homemade, homegrown, however you want to put it, because that sounded pretty funny when I said it. Creating my own compost, creating my own fertilizer, feeding my soil. Labeling what I sow. I don't know about you guys, but I have a problem with labeling. I can label when it comes to seeds, but when it comes to putting it out in the garden, I have the biggest problem. I say, oh, I'm going to remember. I never do. So what I did was, in 2020, I created these little labels. And this is nothing more than a jug that I had. It might have been a water jug that I needed to get rid of for some reason. I use a permanent marker. After the sun hits this for a while, this will completely disappear. So this didn't work, but I made these pretty little labels. Didn't use these. Then I found that if I use a tin can, it could be soda if you drink soda, it could be water like I drink, it could be beer. As long as it's a tin can, cut that tin can. Please be careful because it's sharp edges. You can cut yourself. I take an ink pen that no longer has ink in it that works, and I etch what I have placed in that pot. I take a one hole puncher, punch a hole in it. I put either twine or a zip tie, and I now have, y'all know, labels. I now have a label. So I did start that last year. I was not good at keeping up with it. So yeah, I'm going to start doing better about my labels. The next thing I have on my list is creating more compost. Making sure that if I'm pulling something out of the garden that needs to go in the green waste can, unless it's diseased, I need to put it in the compost. So making sure that I have enough compost so that I can feed my soil. Repurposing more. I have been given so many little tubs like this or larger tubs like this, and I need to make sure that I am repurposing, because the next thing on my list was fertilizer. Creating my own fertilizers. This is just citrus that I've been grinding down, that I've been saving. I have the same thing for eggshells, coffee grounds. I've even gotten chicken poop from not a former coworker, but a coworker. I feel like it's former because I haven't seen them in so long, but a coworker of mine. But yes, repurposing, not only to save for fertilizer, but to use in the garden if you need to. Cleaning the garden a little bit, making sure that it's a little bit clutter free or more clutter free. We have a lot of wind here, so the wind causes a huge issue, blowing things in. Making sure that you're not keeping a home for pests in your garden, so keeping it clutter free. I did have some snakes, one this year Not this year, because we just got into 2021. I had 1 in 2020. I had 2 in 2019. I did see a vole or something this year. It went by so fast I couldn't quite tell. But making sure that the garden is as clutter-free as possible so that there aren't any critter issues. And that's the start of my list. I do not want to have this go on too long because I'm trying to make sure that my videos are not too lengthy. But that's the start for my gardening goals. I hope you guys are working on your gardening goals, and I hope to see you in the garden real soon. Happy New Year, everybody. Bye now.